Hey, thanks for being here. This is the Iron Claw. I mean, not this, I'm John Stark. The movie that I'm reviewing is the Iron Claw. Although that would be a killer nickname. The Iron Claw. The things we don't think about when naming our channels. Although I don't think that that's scream movies at anybody either. So I don't know that that necessarily works. Either way, let's talk about this movie. It stars Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson, Maura Tierney, Holt McCallany, and Lily James. There's another brother in there, but actually I've never heard of the actor before. Which is not really a great sign for the future of that character. It's like, let's get three recognizable actors to play three of them, and then the fourth one, we'll get that guy. Let's do that. I'm sure nobody will suspect a thing. Just not at all. Um, yep, this is the movie that everybody's been talking about, yet somehow escaped the awards race. It's kind of amazing. Still has a 7.9 on IMDb. This is going to be one of those that people talk about longer than the awards, and then we wonder, why didn't this get nominated? A lot of people have said it's Zac Efron's best work. I've kind of noticed that Zac Efron's been trying now for a while. So he's been picking interesting projects to try to be taken seriously as an actor for quite some time. And I actually enjoyed him last year in The Greatest Beer Run Ever. I know that was a film that was divisive, and people were like, I don't know if I like it. I was like, I think he's good in it. So there's that. Obviously, Harris Dickinson is one of those rising stars you just keep hearing everything about, and Jeremy Allen White is everywhere because of The Bear. Actually, for a while, I thought, when I heard about the Iron Claw and I saw him in it as a support, I was like, this dude's gonna get an Oscar nomination. I was like, this dude is way too hot right now. People are just gonna vote for him. They're gonna be like, oh my god, Jeremy Allen White's in something? Can I vote for it? What? um, but sadly, this film just isn't structured in the way that I want it to be. It's structured more to give Zac Efron the boost as the lead character. And I kind of wish that this film had taken a little bit more of an ensemble-y approach to these brothers and had them all sort of approaching their parents sort of definitely from the beginning at equal length. I think we would have gotten more reward out of the film if everybody had seemed like they were on a level playing field. The thing is, it's not like Zac Efron is such a massive star that he's so far beyond Jeremy and Harris. I think people would have looked at it and figured, there's probably going to be something here with Zac Efron, sure. But if you start the film out with the four Von Erich brothers sort of on the same playing field, jostling for their dad's affection. I love that their dad is just like really open about, like, he just ranks his kids, and he's like, now remember, the rankings can change. And I was like, what is this, the NCAA? Like, what are you? We all know Mike's my favorite, but it's like, we do? Why do we know that? That's a weird thing for your children to know. But they're the fourth favorite child of four. It's interesting to note, by the way, that there is actually another Von Erich brother in real life that's just totally left out of this movie. Just not mentioned at all. There were five. But you know, choices were made, and I guess they felt like ranking five was a bit much, so they went with four. And just wrote an entire brother out of the film. So when people are like, wow, this is a really emotionally devastating true story of the Von Erich brothers, I'm like, it's kind of like if people did a movie about the Jonas brothers and just forgot to mention there is actually another Jonas brother. Like, technically, the other brother didn't wrestle, he was there. Like, he did, like, he was part of the family, though. You know, I mean, there is a Jonas brother that is not part of the Jonas Brothers. So, if you were doing a biopic and that brother just never appeared and they acted like he didn't exist, would that be a real biopic of their family? I don't think so, but that's just me. Um, anyway, Holt McCallany and Maura Tierney who are both incredibly strong and reliable character actors who just I feel like sadly are just never going to get recognized for anything. Maura Tierney especially, and just I love Maura Tierney. Um, her work on The Affair, I so wanted her to get an Emmy for that. Um, and just yeah, just couldn't make that happen. Um, she's a very strong actress. Here, she gets to play a unlikable character, which is not something she gets to do a whole lot of. Usually, she's relatable, likable, understandable, rootable. We root for you here, and less of that. The parents here are kind of douches. They kind of have been oversold a little bit by the other, by a lot of other critics, as to like how bad they are as parents. No, they're not great people. They don't prioritize their children over other things, and that's that's what it is. But yeah, this is just really about the Von Erichs and their quest for wrestling glory, and how tragedy keeps striking this family, at one after another, after another, after another. And it allows people to react to it in ways that the film gets darker as it goes on, and more emotionally grounded as it goes on, which is why I just wish at the beginning we had invested a little bit more in the evenness of the brothers, because I think it would have paid off in dividends in the end if at the very beginning we weren't very sure Zac Efron was the lead. You know, Zac Efron could be the Sean Bean of this series. We don't know. Why don't we, you know, why don't we just do that? But, I think that would have been a lot more rewarding to build up all of the others, since Zac obviously goes the distance, which is why he's considered the leading actor here. Not really a spoiler, he just is the lead actor of the film. Just a balance. I think that's the only little thing I was missing. Otherwise, this film is really good. I just feel like I knew more about Zac Efron's Von Erich. I keep wanting to say Von Dutch because I know that that's a thing, but I know that's not their name. Um, and yeah, I just felt like I knew more about him than I did the other brothers, and I felt like that throughout the whole film. Felt like I just knew more about him, and I don't know why I needed to. Why he was more important, because he's not. At the end of the day, he's not actually like, there's no more, it's sort of that weird ranking that the father does. Well, somebody did that with a screenplay, and they're like, well, Zac Efron's the most important one, so we're going to put him up at number one. But then we're going to make a scene where we're like, audience is obviously going to think this is shady, ranking the brothers like that. Well, you're kind of doing that. I mean, a little bit. Anyway, yeah, and I definitely would have tried to find a familiar face for the fourth Von Erich. I couldn't even remember his name from the time I looked at IMDb to filming this review. That's how how much I've never heard of him before. Yet I can go through the filmographies of the others. It's disappointing. But get ready for, an emotionally devastating end to this film. This film does not have a happy ending. and that's fine. I thought the audio description was nice. It was well done. It's done by the lovely Jedediah Barton. Thank you, Jedediah, for your always reliably strong narration. And the team at Deluxe, also for putting this together. Um, it was a little bit difficult figuring out the brothers at first, and like who was who and who was what where, and I kind of used IMDb to, because I don't have the facial recognition to be able to be like, oh, that's Zac Efron, oh, that's Jeremy Allen White, oh, that's Harris Dickinson, oh, that's, who the hell is that? I didn't have that. So at the beginning you kind of have like four brothers and they're all kind of jostling around and going for the rest, and so yeah, it took me a minute to kind of get into that. But I don't think that was really the audio description's fault. It's just the way that the story is. It's just like, here's four brothers, go. And as the film plays out, obviously it becomes easier, and as we get less Von Erich brothers as well. When I say tragedy strikes, I don't know what you think that means. Also, when the film says tragedy strikes, this family, apparently that's like their legendary thing, is that they've lived this like tragic story. But stay till the end and you'll find out what happened to them. There's a nice little like, thing at the end that Jedediah will read to you and say, this is the future for the Von Erichs. So, but right now I'm gonna give the Iron Claw an A-. Thought it was a strong film. I just wanted a little bit more balance in the characters from the beginning. I would have rather mixed it up so that way, because most people don't know this story. Let's just be honest. Let it be a little bit more ambiguous as to like which Von Erich is on top, or is going to have the most screen time, or is going to make it the furthest. Like I said, it's always possible to Sean being a character. So I don't like to make those assumptions, especially when a film is well written enough to indicate that everybody's on the same level playing field at the beginning. This just doesn't do that. This is like, Zac Efron's got to get an Oscar. I'm like, okay, calm down. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I also have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can go to X, Twitter, or Instagram and follow me at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. I'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch this. I just got this off the Apple Store. It's nothing amazing. And the ADNA.org, that's the ADNA.org, will let you know more about Jedediah and what other things he has described. That's it for right now. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.